You ever try to explain your job to a kid and just got that blank stare? Well, today we're diving into this really cool story about a researcher who used a brand new AI tool to turn her super complex work into a personalized children's book. And she did it in just a few minutes.
It's a tough one, right? It's this universal problem. You're an expert in your field, you live and breathe this stuff, but then you have to translate it all for the toughest audience you'll ever face. A kid who just wants to know what you do all day. That was the exact spot a researcher named Beata found herself in.
Yeah, for a lot of us, our work is pretty abstract. It's full of jargon and processes that don't really fit into a simple story. So when your job is kind of unexplainable, how do you even begin to tell that story to a child?
So let's meet Beata Mosór. Her world is all about deep customer research and even building her own AI models. I mean, it's fascinating stuff, but it created this huge challenge for her. How could she make her passion for this tech feel real and, exciting for her own kids?
So, instead of trying to write a whole book from scratch, Beata decided to try a new kind of creative partner. She found an AI storyteller, a tool built for one very specific purpose.
And that tool is called an AI gem. So what is that? Well, think of it less like a general chatbot you can ask anything, and more like a focused little expert. It's a small AI agent that's been trained to do one thing really, really well. And in this case, its entire job was to be a children's book author. The tool she found was perfect for this. It's an experimental feature on Google's Gemini platform called the storybook gem. I mean, the purpose is right there in the name. It's designed to take pretty much any kind of information and spin it into a simple, illustrated book for kids.
Okay, so you might be thinking that turning complex research into a children's book has got to be a huge, complicated process, but the journey from her prompt to the finished pages was anything but. Actually, the whole thing was shockingly simple.
It really just boiled down to 3 steps. First, she just uploaded her raw materials. And we're not just talking documents, but things like presentations and even links to her videos. Then, she gave the AI a single, simple command: turn all this into a storybook. And finally, she just hit generate and let the AI do the rest.
So, the big question? How long did this take? From uploading her research to having a finished, illustrated, multi-page book in her hands, the total time was 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. It's just an incredible example of how fast these tools can bring an idea to life.
All right, so speed is one thing, but what about the quality? I mean, what kind of story can an AI actually come up with in only 5 minutes? Well, the results weren't just fast, they were personal, in a way nobody really expected.
And this is what's so wild. The AI didn't just spit out some generic story about a researcher. No, it created a story about Beata. It was smart enough to pull out specific personal details from all the stuff she uploaded and weave them right into the pictures and the plot.
And the level of detail here is just stunning. Look at this. The character in the book had Bea's distinct dark curly hair. Yep. It was even wearing the same style of silk jewelry she had in her videos. The AI even picked up on her Apple Watch. I mean, these aren't just generic details. This is the AI actually observing and recreating her reality. So the final product was this complete 10-page package. It had a consistent, really friendly art style that was perfect for kids. But the content was real. It even specifically named her actual AI model, Cirque. And to top it all off, it came with its own built-in audio narrator, making it a fully finished digital storybook. Beata's reaction really says it all. Her own words were, "It's stunning how easy it is." This wasn't just some tech demo for her. It was a tool that solved a really personal problem in a way that felt, well, kind of like magic. So, an experiment like this is really cool. But what does it tell us about the bigger picture? Because this offers a pretty fascinating peek into a future where learning and creating could become way, way more personal for all of us.
Just think about it. Imagine being able to do this yourself. Creating a custom storybook, not just about your job, but about a family vacation, a moment in history, or even a really tricky science concept. All of it perfectly tailored for your kid.
Because ultimately, tools like this do way more than just tell stories. They kind of democratize knowledge. They break down the walls around these complex, specialized topics and make them engaging and accessible for pretty much anyone at any age.
And you have to remember, this was done with an experimental tool that's really just getting started. It kind of leaves us with this huge question. If anyone can create a personalized, educational story in just 5 minutes today, what does that mean for the future of how we teach, how we learn, and how we connect with each other tomorrow?